How's everybody doing? Happy Wheel Wednesday. Sorry, this camera still feels like it's on there. Is it?
It's good. It's
All right,
good.
all right,
It's
all right.
good.
Anyhow.
It's like right here.
Yeah, all right. Anyhow. How you doing? Happy Wheel Wednesday. If you have any questions, go ahead and throw them in. In the meantime, we'll do a little housekeeping while we wait for people to come in.
Yeah.
Oh, what's this Friday? Do we know?
This Friday we're
like
doing
it's
something.
I feel like I recorded it.
You did
We're on top of
record.
things around here. don't fret. We got this covered.
The funny thing is, Matt did message it to me and was
this
like,
tips about car builds?
yes.
All right. So, look, I've been in a car building phase lately. So I kind of was like, we were having a conversation around the office and we were talking about different ways to extend your build budget. And I was kind of rattling off some of the things I did growing up, and somebody had said, oh, that's cool, maybe you should share it with everybody. So we made it into a Friday piece. So if you want to find out maybe some things that you probably may already know about how you could extend your budget on one of your car builds, then check it out. Friday, we're going to be dropping it on our YouTube channel. And if you're not subscribed to our YouTube channel, by golly, this is a good time to get there. So just go ahead and click that subscribe button. We like you. We'd appreciate it. You know.
We're also dropping a podcast.
We are.
in about a few hours. In
3
an hour.
PM, we're dropping a podcast today. What's our podcast today?
The podcast is about wheels and cars, and you know what I mean?
All right, fantastic. Well, tune in. It's gonna be great. Anyhow, in the meantime, if you have any questions, as always, we're happy to answer them. Most likely we've answered them last Tuesday, or the Tuesday before, or the Tuesday before that, but we'll answer them again today.
Okay.
Happy to do it. Let's do it.
First question from James C. Blackwell.
Yes.
When
James.
are 17.9, 40 offset, 5 and 100 hyperspecs and anthracite shipping?
So those were definitely on the later list of stuff arriving. I'm going to say probably toward the end of this month, I think is right. But you can DM us, we can get you a better ETA.
Crash Out Crazy. Remember me? The one and only Dutchie with Avant. I don't know what that means.
Oh, yeah, I remember. Have you
Okay.
changed his name? That's cool. What's happening, man? This guy with the crazy cars.
I see.
Yes,
Yes.
Cars. Remember
Yes.
he had the Avant? And,
Yes. The one that he crashed. Yes.
Yeah, that's you.
CLT Brian says, "What's up, guys?"
What's up, Brian? How you doing, man?
Let's see. We got a lot of let's goes. We live.
Go. Yeah. How did that become the known trend? Like the saying?
Why
did "let's go" become everything that everybody wants to say?
That is very true.
Right?
Honestly,
like,
I don't know.
Was it Brady? Did Tom Brady do that with his Hertz commercials? Let's go. You know?
Are we getting dial-ins in 5 lug? That's a very specific
it's
question.
funny. We actually made a 17-inch 5 and 100.
I remember that.
Many
Yes.
years ago.
Yes.
But no, there's no plans for that. I would say dial in. It's good for what it is, but we got other things coming out. Other things. Let me ask you a question. As long as we're here rapping with each other, right?
Yeah.
Let me ask you a question on this Wheel Wednesday.
Nice.
Is there any wheel designs when you look at our line? When you look at the KONIG line, is there anything that you feel is missing? Is there any wheel designs you're like, oh, we need something like that's missing? We have so many wheel designs drawn, and so many different things we've come up with, and we're trying to figure out exactly what we want to kind of go down first, what come out first. So let me know your opinion. Interested to hear it.
Crash Out Crazy, the one with the RS6, says, I was hospitalized for a bit. That's why I haven't been here for a minute. I'm sorry. I hope you're okay. My friend, we
hope you're well wishes and speed recovery. Hopefully it wasn't anything too serious.
Yes.
And
then CLT Brian says, trying to stay optimistic with everything that has happened the last week. Hoping the SI sells tonight so I can start on a new build.
Yeah, man, I'm really sorry to hear about all that. But the Accord's looking good, so at least you're set up to there. I mean, looks like the Accord's pretty decent to drive. It's a nice looking car.
Johnny Ace says, what's going on, gents? Hope all is well.
Thanks. Yeah, you too.
Typical question. How do I get sponsored?
you find out something you can do for us, and we'll see if we can sponsor you. Look, I mean, we've done this so many times, and here's the thing: it's okay to ask. So I don't want you to feel like I'm criticizing your question. The first thing is, I would say go to our YouTube channel if you're not familiar with sponsorship. Search our channel for sponsorship. We've done a bunch of content on there. In addition to that, we've also done a 5-part series on exactly what you should do to build a proper sponsorship proposal. And I think that will come in handy for you, whether you're doing automotive companies or something else in your life. I think the premise behind sponsorship is just remember that sponsorship is a value-added proposition. It means you have to bring some value, and in exchange, it has to be a good enough of a value that we want to either give you a discount or extend some product your way. Now, with that said, understand that you're competing against everybody that puts together a sponsorship proposal. Unfortunately, we can't sponsor everybody because then we would be a charity, not a business. So we have to make decisions. We can only do so many. So when the playing field is constantly in a floating bubble, right?
Yep.
We have really good ones, the bubble gets higher. We have really bad ones, maybe the bubble falls down a little lower. But that's true for every business and every company and different things like that. And just make sure that you understand that value proposition doesn't mean likes or follows, right? It could, but it doesn't always. It means value proposition. In other words, you may have some unique talent or something that you can do that really gives a lot of value back to us, and it might be something we want to consider.
That's actually a good, and so the thing is, the way that it works is we all kind of work together and kind of finding people that we mesh well with and we kind of connect with. And a lot of the people that I honestly see that are dope are the ones that are really doing work. I don't care about the followers, me specifically. As long as you're doing cool stuff and it seems like if
got a good
right
ride and stuff like that, and you feel like you get it. But I think that the first thing that you said that I think I actually really agree with is you don't realize how much your vibe is important.
100%.
Because with these people we work with them a fair amount, and we want to. It has to be easy. It has to be something where we're like, yo, can we do this? Can we do that? Can you give us this image? Can we do this? And like, if we don't feel like we can vibe with you, like the idea that we'd sponsor you is pretty low.
Perfect. All right, Crash Out Crazy. I'm luckily doing fine, and I don't think I can say it was too bad. Okay. He got hurt in the leg. Really glad to be doing better. I was scared myself.
Well, I'm glad that you are up and around, hopefully, and doing better.
Have you guys decided what you're doing to fill the SEMA void for this year?
No, I don't think we have to fill the void. I mean, I would like to get around to some of our customers and, be able to see what they got going on, maybe show them what we got going on. Have to figure out exactly what we...
If you're going to PRI, I want to go too. Even if it's just a walk around.
Just to walk around.
Yeah.
It would be a quick day, probably that Thursday.
Yeah, I'll probably just roll with you and just check it out.
Yeah,
roll out.
Because I'll be in California the week. Well, this is a conversation.
That makes sense.
Both of those things.
Yeah. Two more.
I forget the cameras are in.
2 more Auto X events left. Then some hypergrams on the Battle Mini with Conti All Seasons DWSSF for the off season. Right. Already got with Crown to get them. Nice. Saw them on a newer Mini and it was set. LOL.
Nice, man. Nice.
That was a lot.
That's super dope.
I don't know, y'all remember me at... I don't know if you remember me when I had the KONIG tantrums on the Mazda. I'm actually going to buy them back soon and throw them on the Static Accord. Sweet.
I don't remember you, but don't let determining factor. My brain is filled with a lot of information. Most of it. Bottom line is, I'm sure if I saw the car, I probably would remember.
Love the people at KONIG. Perfect example of how you should treat customers.
Oh, appreciate that.
The community interaction is great.
Thank you. I appreciate that. The kind words, like, they go a long way.
They really do.
We really do try to make it so that it's more than just a business and wheels, and we take the opportunity we have to make wheels and make better wheels all the time, really seriously, and we put a lot of time and effort into it. Boy, do I wish I could show you the amount of time and effort we put into the amount of product that we work on and what we try to do. It's crazy. you know?
This is the type of question why we do these lives. What's
Okay.
the cause for the delay on the hyperspecs? Last
Oh,
I was
okay.
told was that they were arriving this week. It's logistic issue or manufacturing delay.
Okay. So I'm going to give you a broader answer. To be very specific, I'd have to know the part number. I'd have to know a couple different things.
Yeah.
I can't answer the question in totality. When somebody gives you something that says it should be here this week, that to me leads me to think that there's a couple things that might have happened.
Yeah.
And I can't speculate on what those are. But the overall reason that there was a delay with the hyperspecs and the new forged wheels and the new MRK1 XR, and basically all of our new wheels for this year. And I know it's crazy late, but a lot of this has to do with supply chain and some things that were occurring, especially when we got into tariffs. Now, we had already moved out of our China factory a while ago. Remember that we're owned by a much larger aftermarket wheel company. Let me rephrase that. My parent company is one of the world's larger aftermarket wheel manufacturers. We are the factory, as we've said multiple times before. Now, they don't really do anything to put pressure on us. We do everything in-house. We operate almost independently. But what ends up happening is we had 3 factories in the world. We had Taiwan, Malaysia, and they had a China factory. Now, these are our factories, meaning that this was a white floor, very clean, kind of state-of-the-art automated type of factories. Now, we have been out of our factory for a while. I mean, I think if you were still in China, which 99% of the world's aftermarket wheels are, and probably, I would imagine, I think about 80% of the world's aftermarket wheels will never, in at least the immediate future, be able to leave China. Like, that's how massive their infrastructure is. But we had moved out, we could read the writing on the wall, and being that we had other options, Taiwan, Malaysia, we just, about a year and a half, 2 years ago, we had already been making most of our stuff in our Malaysia factory. Now, what gets complicated is the way tariffs, and we've seen this whether it was during the pandemic or not, and I'm sorry I'm giving you a very long explanation. I just don't know how else to really
No, this is good stuff.
So what happens when you have tariffs isn't always at face value, meaning that you think that tariffs mean, all right, if it's coming from China and they're paying a high price, then it's just everything in China. No, that's not how it works, because there is a supply chain domino that absolutely exists. For example, you don't realize that, you think it's, just the product coming from that country, that's the only thing that's affected, but every other factory, every other thing in your supply chain, the people that make the boxes, the labels, the paint, tooling for the machinery, parts, all those different things, a lot of those were supplied from China, right? So it had companies that we don't even own, we have nothing to do with, not us directly. They source their stuff from China. So what happens when that factory overnight essentially loses half of their business? They go out of business. Well, for some people that may be the goal, but we were a global economy, and overnight we almost became not a global economy. And when that happens, when those places close, you run into supply chain issues. Now, there's panic buyers, people that rush to buy all the boxes from the box factories because they're worried about losing the ability to get a box. Then there's the other people that when they go to get the box, there's no supplier there anymore. They have to look for a new supplier. They have to find a good quality supplier. Anyhow, I think you can understand where this is going. But basically what happened was there was a lot of logistics that were affected. Now, it may not be directly our stuff. It could be some other things. But all these things, they cause these major backups. We manufacture wheel brands. We manufacture wheels for other wheel brands. And even in that stuff, when they have to move from different facilities, or they say, can you take extra production? All these things, moving tooling, moving mold, retesting everything, doing all this stuff. Now, again, we moved most of our stuff out, but the new wheels got caught up in a lot of that, kind of chaotic nature and different things that weren't exactly done, and that's kind of the long answer, maybe the longest answer on why your wheels are delayed. Now, as far as going back to your statement about this week, that feels very specific. So it could be one of a few things. One could be that we were supposed to receive them and something happened. Maybe the container got delayed by a week or so. The next thing could be that your retailer quoted you blindly. In other words, sometimes they have an ETA, but they don't have an exact date, and they said, oh, it should be this date, and it really wasn't supposed to be exactly this date. It could be that there was a delay in the freight, because a lot of our retailers will stock in-house, and if that happens, maybe we received them that week, and then they all went, LTL, so truck freight to their location as we send full truck, loads off to different retailers for stock. Maybe that was delayed. That had nothing to do with us. There's a couple different scenarios there. So send us a DM. We'll help you out.
Yep. What's your favorite wheel color and why?
Oh, I don't know if I can answer this. I think my wheel color would change depending on what color the car I was using it on is.
Yep.
I do enjoy matte grays. I also like hyper silvers, where there's like a really rich, it's a little darker than a silver, but like a rich hyper type finish. Some cars, I think bronze looks dope. I don't know, it just depends.
It really does
Yeah,
depend.
it really does depend.
Any
I don't
plan?
like black.
Any plans to expand selection for 5 and 120, 17.9, only canograms, hypergrams currently, and always out of stock?
That's a good point. Yeah, maybe. I'm trying to think. I felt like we did the hyper spec in 5 and 120, 17x9. Did we not?
The hyperspecs?
Yeah.
I'm pretty sure we did, yes.
I thought we did.
Yeah.
Thought we did. If not though, point well noted. We'll look at that when I leave here.
This guy came in late. Are you guys ready for SEMA show? It's coming fast.
Yeah. So we're not going to display this year.
Damn.
We talked about that a few weeks ago. It's probably the first time that we have not attended the SEMA show in almost 40 years. This year so here's the thing. I think the SEMA show is a great show. I've had a lot of pride being at the SEMA show for as many years as we did. And I was at the show for pretty much 20 consecutive years. The issue has started to become that in the wheel and tire hall, there just was a lot of vendors that were gone. Most of the wheel big names and brands are gone. That's not the problem. The problem is that when that happens, a lot of people start moving up because it's based off of seniority. So people move up into the hall. Now you're with companies that are either smaller or you've never heard of before, or different things. Those companies usually exist in some of the halls by allowing the bigger names to bring people to the hall. Mm-hmm. And then they walk through and they have a chance at catching some of that, some of the traffic. What happens is when the big names leave, the buyers stop coming. And when the buyers start saying to you that they're not going to come to the show and you are going to go visit them, you really have to think, especially in a year where it's a little softer than the average bear, whether it's smart for you to spend that kind of money to exhibit at the show. And this year was a really tough call. I anticipate being back next year, mm-hmm. But the truth is, year by year, we're gonna have to look at this. But it was a tough call to make. We opted that we were going to just take 1 year off, which we're allowed to do, and we hope to return next year. Hopefully that goes well.
Yeah.
Yeah.
PRI is on my bucket list at some point.
Yeah, mine too. I haven't been there in like 10 years.
Hear me out. White hyperspecs.
I don't have to hear you out. Stay tuned. Just a few months. You're gonna see something that's gonna be pretty interesting. But yeah, I get you.
Yeah, I get it too. Me too. That's the perfect type of wheel to do in white.
Yeah,
honestly.
I get you. We'll see. I don't know. Who knows?
Yeah, I think we're good for now.
Good.
Yeah.
No more questions. If you have any other questions, throw them in now. If you don't, forever hold your peace, or at least until next Tuesday when we come next Wednesday when we go live again, 2 p.m. Eastern. Don't forget, this Friday, we have a piece of content dropping for you. I think it's me just babbling on about different cool things that I've done or different ways you can extend your build budgets to make your budget go further. So your builds, you can get those parts and do it affordably. And then we have a podcast right after this. It's about cool stuff. You should check it out. I think you should come in and check it out.
You want a couple more?
If you got a few more, I'll take them.
All right. Hyperspec 5 and 120 only comes in 18-inch sizes.
Oh, okay. Let me check, because that may be a situation where... So, all right, I don't want to get too far into this, but basically when we develop a wheel, we have to determine what the PCD range is going to be. That means if it's going to go from like 5 and 100 to 5 and 4.5, or 5 on 108 to 5 on 120, or whatever it's going to be. What happens is the bigger we make that pad, so in other words, if we go from like 5 and 100, which is obviously the smallest, to 5 and 120, which is on the bigger side, that pad has to become much larger, okay? The back mounting pad. Now, if we go, let's say we don't need the 120, and we're going from 5 and 100 to, let's say, 5 and 115 or 5 and 4.5, now the pad's smaller. Now, you may say, well, what difference does that make? Well, here's where it makes a difference. I'm giving you a 17-inch wheel, and I'm telling you I want to make it lightweight. The bigger that pad, the more material you need, and the harder it is to reduce the weight on that 17-inch wheel. There's a high probability that because we did it in 5 and 100, we opted not to do it in the 120 because we thought that the 5 and 100 would benefit more than the 120, being that most of the 5 and 120 stuff at this point is going 18-inch for us. So that could be what happened, in which case, you're right, I may not be able to do anything, but I will check and make sure that I'm definitely correct with that, and if I can do it, I will. If we can't, then maybe you're right, we'll have to keep that in mind for some of the development we're working on right now.
1.slow.accord, you'll see why I'm saying that, says, yo, help me find some wheels for my Honda.
Dude, we got so many wheels right now. Really, like,
Literally.
go to the website, pick out almost anything.
Almost anything, pretty
and
much.
We should be good. Yeah.
Bluebee says, hey guys, sorry
What's up,
I'm
dude?
late.
It's all right. The good thing is we publish this thing. You can go back and watch it. I don't think that you will, but if you want to, you can.
My son has your rims on his drift car.
Okay, cool.
And they perform super. I love
awesome.
comments like
Thank
that.
you.
See, that's
that's
saying,
awesome.
bro.
Thanks for taking the time to come in here and even say something like that.
Yeah,
really,
for real.
that's awesome. And thank your son for us. And,
for rolling with us.
Man, if you to send us a quick.
Send us some pictures.
Well, I was gonna say, send us a quick DM. We'll fire out a couple decals.
Oh, there you go. Hell yeah.
Yeah, pictures are good too.
Yeah, I think you're good to go.
You good? All right. Well, thanks for hanging out with us. We appreciate it. Again, we do this every Wednesday, 2 p.m. Eastern. Come live. We answer your questions. We talk about things that sometimes are relevant. Sometimes they're not. Anyhow, don't forget the podcast. It will be up on our YouTube channel just about 3 p.m. Eastern, so not too long from now. And in addition to that, if you listen to the podcast, you want to listen to us in the car, I'm not sure if you do, but if you do, we're on most modern podcast platforms.
Apple Podcasts.
iHeartMedia, right, iTunes. Spotify.
You name it. We're there.
Probably some other ones.
Stitcher, if it's still
I
around.
don't even think it's around, but it could be. It could be. Spotify, right? You said that? All right.
Yeah,
anyway,
yeah.
We're out of here. Have a good week. We'll catch you on the next one.
Later, guys.